Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Wednesday. I always say the wrong day. Wednesday morning. Hope you're having a good morning. And if you guys are enjoying the content, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. It really does help out. Make sure you do check out Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go and do so. Discount opportunities will be available there when it comes to launch, so make sure you check it out so you don't miss out. But guys, welcome back to the stream. Kang, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Tony, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Holy One, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Kadam, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Will, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. So it's been an interesting, well, not as interesting as the last 24 hours. We have seen a bit of movement in the market, particularly on the USD end. We did see USD break to the upside on the daily chart here. So I'm pretty, at least short-term, bullish on USD. I'm still very bearish, as I keep saying. But in the meantime, I do think dollar can see a bit of strength, which is great because I'm looking for longs on quite a few USD pairs. And I'm looking for big swings. So this, in my view, is dollar giving me the retracement I'm after so I can get into the setups I'm after as well. Some have retraced a little bit more than others, and some look more likely to get trades soon, and we'll go through them shortly. But starting off with the DXY, now that we have broken out this descending channel very aggressively, and of course breaking back above this low, I do think there's a pretty high chance we at least get back to the high there at 101.8. We'll see what NFP has in store for us on Friday, but generally speaking, I do think there's a good chance we do see more upside for DXY. Maybe we see a bit of minor retracement and a push, but more or less, I'm looking for a move back to 101.8. Then maybe from there, we continue our bearish path and collapse, or maybe we push a little bit higher, push into 102.4 and collapse from there. I have marked at a really big level on the daily chart, which could see a retest. So I'm very, very bearish, still expecting price to push into the low, but it does look like price could be going for a bit of a pullback, which kind of makes sense. We've been falling pretty aggressively for the past couple of months now. So a pullback is kind of expected. And now that we have made that move, I do think we're going to continue a little bit further. So jumping over to Euro, this was not far off my first level of interest. 1.1 is where I said I'm looking to buy from, which is this low here. So if Euro keeps falling a little bit further, comes to test that low, that's when I'll start looking for some entries for some longs. And I do have a level just below that as well at around 1.095. Excuse me. So those are my two areas of interest, which lines up pretty well for the DXY if it pushes to those two levels I just mentioned. Could find some opportunities, lining up well with the dollar as well. And hopefully we can see some nice pushes to the upside. Pound USD has already hit a nice low here. So pound USD is in an area, at least from technicals, that looks good for a buy. I'm not going to look to buy pound USD just yet because, number one, I do think USD still has a bit more strength to it. So that might not be the best for pound. And also I'm selling pound yen still. So I don't want to be selling pound JPY and also buying pound JPY as well. So buying pound USD. So I'm not going to enter that one. But Euro, I'm not in any Euro pairs, so I'm happy to get into Euro if it does set up for me, and I'll keep a lookout for it. And there's a few other USD pairs which look good, which we'll get into, I'm sure. Karis, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Holy One. Okay, dollar CAD closed below the H450. Okay, so entered now in profit. Nice, but we have news better to be good for USD, so this may be a problem. Okay, and I should go check the news. Oh yeah, pairs are looking strong for the buys, for the pullback, then up. Everything seems tricky. Yeah, pound yen did have a big push. I mean, not just pound yen, all the yen pairs had a big push to the upside this morning, which is making things a little bit awkward. But I'm still pretty bearish as long as we maintain structure, which is this level for me. I'm still bearish, still expecting the market to drop. But we had a pretty strong close there on the 4 hour. And you can kind of see that across the board. Some more than others. Is in the end not much there. Aussie yen slightly big. Dollar yen was a pretty big push. I think Swiss yen as well. I mean, more or less, we're coming back into structure, so I'm not too worried. CAD yen doesn't look great, I have to mention. But yeah, the M pairs have been pretty bullish, at least in the past 6 hours. But yeah, in terms of my bias, it's still very much intact in the higher time frame. So I'm still looking for a big sell to the downside. Again, I'm not expecting that just to be a one clean move. I've said multiple times price might consolidate a little bit before we get the push, but I am still pretty bearish. If price starts breaking above this, then of course, that's when things get a little bit awkward. And of course, I got my stop above there. If it does take my stop loss, then yeah, probably I was in the wrong direction. But yeah, yen pair is not moving great. You can see for the past couple of days, we're kind of just staying in the same spot for most of them. So hopefully we can see some momentum kick in at some point, but I'm still bearish, so I only focus on the sells with the yen pairs for now, until proven otherwise. Entered pound USD at 1.32778. Okay, we'll take a look. A few people trading some USD pairs. It's not A+ setup, but I would like to know your thoughts. Okay, on this pair. Okay, I'll go through pound. GJ giving us a hard time, keeps respecting the 50 on the daily, which don't like. Is it respecting the 50 on the daily? Is it the 50 SMA or yeah, SMA? Yeah, it is. It is a bit there, to be fair, but I'm not too put off of that, because the main thing we're looking for is for price to not start to trend. Let me make that white. Is not to start to trend above the 50. If it starts doing that, then yeah, the market is going to keep pushing up higher. The market can break above and break below, and it looked kind of a bit awkward and still maintain that move, sort of like what we did here, and still had a push up, sort of like there a little bit, maybe a bit like this as well. But yeah, it could be better. It could be better. So I agree with that 100%. And it would be nice if price was trading below the 50 as well. But of course, we'll see how everything unfolds. For me, the main thing that needs to stay intact is that level of resistance. If the market breaks through that, and that's when price maybe wants to be trending to the upside. But for now, still below 193. So I'm still looking for that move lower. But we'll go through a couple USD pairs. We'll go through USD CAD and then pound USD as well. So yeah, for dollar CAD, so yeah, dollar CAD, I'm still short bias. I mentioned this area here yesterday as a nice place for a short, and it held pretty well. Price came into the area, respected it pretty much just after the stream, really. I think, yeah, it would have ended the stream around here, and then price starts melting. So a really nice move to the downside for dollar CAD from that area. Holy One, you said you got in from the 4-hour 50. Is it the 4-hour 50? Yeah, H450. So I suppose you entered around there. So yeah, the trade is back on. And this is what I was referring to on Tuesday or Monday. I can't remember. Just because price breaks above the 50 doesn't necessarily mean that the trade is incorrect or the direction is incorrect. It just means that price may want to break above it to break back below. Is the market's not always quite perfect sometimes. But yeah, if it meets your criteria, fits your conditions, then of course, take your trades without hesitation. But in terms of my analysis, I do think dollar CAD has still got a long way to go. As I've been speaking about, I do think the market's going to start trending much lower, back down to 1.323. Of course, I'm very bearish in USD, so that's a nice confidence to have as well. And yeah, it came back to respect a nice area. This could be the lower high that sends us down. Maybe price wants to retest it before continuing, or we just kind of sell off. But in terms of my expectations for dollar CAD, I'm expecting lower prices. I am kind of somewhat bullish on USD for the time being, so I wonder how that's going to unfold. As you said, we do have some news as well, so we want to see how that's going to come out for USD and affect things. But I do think USD's got a bit more upside left before we do get a sell, or a bigger sell. I'd say we could still see some downside today, but I do think the bigger sell is still going to happen a little bit higher up. So for USD, I'm expecting a bit more upside before the sell, and that might drag dollar CAD up for retracement. We'll see. CAD will, of course, play a big role in that as well. But yeah, in terms of my expectations, it's still looking for a swing to the low and a lot lower as well. But I'm not a big fan of dollar CAD, to be honest. I like USD pairs, but dollar CAD is just a bit on the choppy side of things. I'm not a big fan. In terms of pound USD, a pair that I like a lot more because the trend is a lot more clearer to see. And I have been talking a lot about this break and retest here, which looks to be coming into life. I'm not the biggest fan of the price action there on the 4-hour stroke hourly chart. It could have been a little bit better because we did have a really heavy sell. So it would be nice to see some strong rejection at the low, but so far it's holding. As I said, if USD is going to see a bit of strength, then that will be awkward for pound USD, because if dollar does push up, that will push pound down. I mean, if it does push pound down, but pound stays stubborn and it keeps rejecting that level, maybe gives us some more wicks, I think that'll be a really nice sign that the market is holding this area and we're likely to continue back to the high. So I think dollar CAD's in a nice place for a buy. I just don't think it's quite lined up yet for the long. But if we start showing some more signs of holding onto this area, some rejection, some wicks, then you could be looking at a really nice buy back into the high there at 1.342 and possibly beyond that as well, and just see the trend continue. So I like pound USD where we're at, and I think if you have a stop loss, below the low there, you're giving yourself some decent room to work with, because the chances are if price is breaking below here, probably is going to have a bigger move down. Of course, maybe you do get faked out, but you can always look to re-enter afterwards. Yeah, if your stop loss is around there, I think you said your stop loss 62.4 pips from 1.32778. So that's more or less around here, 60 pips. Yeah, you're giving yourself a decent amount of room. I like it. I like it. So yeah, if price is going to respect that level, it should respect your stop loss as well, and continue. And if it hits the stop loss, as long as you manage your risk, there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, I like the opportunity. It's just USD is a little bit for me at the moment. We'll go through CAD CHF. Okay, agreed. Pound USD. Well, I know you're looking at pound longs. It looks good. It's just that USD may push up a little bit higher, because pound USD, Euro USD, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, they're all going to move up. Well, more so pound USD and Euro USD. They're all going to move up together. I don't think Euro is quite ready to long yet. After such a strong close yesterday, not really trading at any area of significance. I find it hard to see Euro USD suddenly just continue up and follow the trend. So I do think Euro is going to keep pushing down at least to that low, and then we can start looking for some opportunities. Maybe Euro wants to push even further down. That's a possibility as well, but I struggle seeing Euro suddenly pushing to the upside. Of course, anything can happen, but I think in terms of probability, at least, I think there's a high chance we push further down before we get the move up, and pound USD might just kind of consolidate a little bit at that level. We'll see how things unfold. But I am still very bullish on both of them. I do think the trend will continue at some stage. I think DXY is just not quite ready yet to continue that move. And we'll see what the news has this afternoon. I think maybe things could be gearing up for NFP on Friday as well. We might kind of see some random price action from now until Friday, and then NFP comes out, sets the direction for the next month, and then everything just continues. So I'm kind of thinking along those lines as well. But CAD CHF, okay, been in the buy since 1 p.m. We'll take a look at that one as well. What's up, Tom? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. Dollar CAD and CAD CHF trades. I have no more setups for days. Everything moved last week. Okay, sitting hands for the ages. That's trading for you. You can go from being very, very active to not having to do much in the markets because the setups you're looking at just hasn't come around yet. And that's a sign of good trading, really. I think that's a really good sign of good trading, because a lot of people just will take one trade every day or 5 trades a day or whatever. But the market conditions will change. The conditions today will be different from the conditions tomorrow, and the conditions next week, and conditions the month after as well. So based on your strategy, there will be moments where you trade more aggressively and more frequently, and there'll be periods where you trade less. So if you're seeing different patterns in your trading, then that's a good sign that you're staying true to your strategy and your optimal conditions. If you're just trading consistently the same amount of trade frequency throughout the whole year, every day, every week, then you're probably doing yourself more harm than good. Anyway, we'll go through CAD C at Chef. Any other pairs I have missed, let me know. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes doesn't mean a trend change, just means a deep pullback. Hence other tools needed, of course, of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, again, the moving averages, as you spoke about last week or probably the week before, that moving averages are not the secret indicator to success. It's a very good addition to your trading, but just the 50 moving average alone is not going to be. You're just buying and selling above that is probably not going to give you the results you're after, but it could be a really nice confluence when making your trading decisions. So sometimes you're going to get those bigger pullbacks, and sometimes, yeah, the trend is going to reverse, but using other techniques can help guide you there. So we'll go through CAD Seat Chef. So CAD Seat Chef is an awkward pair, I have to admit. I'm not. Do you say you're buying this one? I think you said you're buying this one since 1 p.m. yesterday. We have pushed up pretty well. I mean, to a degree, really, I haven't actually pushed up pretty well. It's been a very corrective push, but we have been pushing. That is for sure. But I have to say, I'm not really sure what price is doing, to be honest, with CAD Seat Chef. I'm still pretty bearish on this one, but I want price to come a lot higher before I entertain the idea for a sell. 0.635 is kind of the area I'm looking at. We had this nice descending channel. Price broke above it, broke below, broke back above it. So it's kind of more sideways consolidation now rather than a descending channel. So I'm not a big fan of the price action just because I can't get a good read of it. If we were to break a little bit higher, then this will interest me a little bit more. Coming back into the low there as well. Even if we break a little bit higher, there's this low here as well, which I like sell. So that's kind of where I'm at with CAD Seat Chef. Not interested in the price action here. I know you're more intraday anyway, so yeah, you'll be focusing on different setups, but these are the two levels that do pique my interest because we've had a big sell-off. I'm looking at this as kind of a correction for that. So if price can push up to 0.636 or 644, then I like the sells there. In terms of the current price action, it's just a bit too messy for me, but I'm sure you've got your setups and your confluences aligned for that, and I think you're in some nice profit there as well. So hopefully price can continue. Where do you have your targets for the CAD Seat Chef trade? Morning in Keba, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Pound CAD, I see something sell. Okay, we'll go take a look at Pound CAD as well. Okay, trying to get to the high, but may not want to go there. I'll just babysit the trade. Fair enough. That's a nice little way of describing it, babysitting a trade. So I assume back to this high, I would assume. But yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one. I mean, CAD Seat Chef is never the cleanest pair. The Seat Chef pairs aren't really the cleanest pairs, are they? They are a bit corrective. Still some nice moves with them, but they're a bit more on the choppy side of things. But yeah, I think babysitting is probably the best idea because it's moving a little bit awkward. But yeah, it's been a nice push, and a push that high, I would say, is realistic. I mean, if I want to get my sell up at these highs, then of course we'll have to hit your target first. Anyway, so we'll see what CAD Seat Chef has in store. But yeah, we'll see what CAD has in store. But yeah, if you're shorting USD CAD and buying CAD Seat Chef, then that means you're looking for that CAD strength. Looking for that CAD strength. Let me actually go through the news real quick. I went through it yesterday, but my main focus was the NFP on Friday. As for today, okay, so we have. Okay, so we got ADP employment change for USD at 115. And that is expected to go up. So we'll see how that affects USD in the afternoon. I already know what I'm expecting, at least from a technical standpoint, but we'll see if the fundamentals align with that when the number comes out. But yeah, I do like dollar to the upside, at least short term, maybe till NFP on Friday, and then we'll see what NFP gives us. But yeah. Anyway, I'll go through pound CAD for you. A lot of CAD pairs being mentioned today. So pound CAD, oh, that reminds me, NZD CAD are looking interesting. Pound CAD, yeah, pound CAD a big sell-off. We had a big sell-off for the CAD pairs and USD pairs as well, which I haven't really mentioned much. I'll go into that in a moment. We had a big sell-off for the CAD pairs and USD pairs. Pound CAD, big move. NZD CAD, big move. Aussie CAD, not as big though. I think Aussie was a bit strong, but yeah, Euro CAD, it was lights out for that one as well. So I like the buys here for pound CAD. You mentioned a sell. I'm more kind of interested in the buys and the retest here. Very similar opportunity to pound USD, really. And I like that because pound USD and pound CAD do move in a similar fashion most of the time. So in my eyes, if pound USD and pound CAD are giving me similar setups, that's a good confluence that they could play out. It's always a bit more awkward if pound CAD looks like it's bearish and pound USD looks like it's bullish. You know, if they're not lining up, it's always a bit more awkward to trade them. It's always best if they're in correlation and lining up well. So pound USD, we're looking for the breaking test of that high for the continuation. Pound CAD looking at the same setup there as well. Of course, pound CAD's not quite there yet. So a bit more downside would be nice. And I think after looking at such a big bearish candle, there's a high chance that we'll see at least a little bit of spillage back to the downside. I don't think momentum will just end here abruptly and price will start shooting up. It could happen, of course, but I do think we'll probably see a bit more downside and come and test that level, which would be great. See how price reacts there. If things look good, then I'm expecting price to continue back to the high and maybe further. I mean, this is the level I do expect us to reverse from, so I'm expecting reversals soon come, but I haven't had much indication that the reversal is underway yet. So until that happens, I'll stay bullish. So yeah, pound CAD, I like the buys from here. You said you're looking at a sell from 1.7938. Let me mark that in the chart, 1.7938. Okay, it's more or less around there. And stop loss 1.8030. Where am I going? That's around here. And target 1.7730. That's around there. Interesting. So I'm not too sure. Of course, I'm sure you've got your rules and what you're trading from, but in my eyes, I'm not a big fan of the setup, really. I mean, not that we can't see it happen, of course, anything can happen, but if I was going to take a sell, I'll be probably looking to sell where that stop loss is, to be honest. Unless I'm reading it incorrectly, but if you got your stop loss around 1.803, this is probably where I want to be looking for some sell opportunities as we come back to the high. That's what all that bearish momentum came from. If price was to push back into that area, that would be a nice place for a short, really. As with the entry, I mean, I suppose you're looking at the retest of the low or thereabouts, which is not bad and definitely could see a retest and a continuation off that. I like the breakout to be a little bit bigger before we look for a retest of that low, but it can definitely hold if it wants to. And as for targets, I think targets are pretty reasonable as well. You're looking kind of at this area here. I think this level here, I probably want to secure some profit or trail a stop loss or do something to protect the trade, because this is very much an area where price may want to push against me, because these sells are still counter trend. Let's not forget. I know we're coming from a bigger level, but the trend is still very much in play. So I have to show respect to that trend, and where areas, where possible areas could send the price back up against me. This is definitely one of them. Of course, we could get the breakthrough. So there's nothing wrong with targeting this low, but I would be wary of that level in the first place. But yeah, in terms of finding shorts, I think if you're going to look to sell from here, then stop loss doesn't necessarily need to be all the way up there. stop loss above the high would suffice. And if you do get taken out and price push up high, probably look for just a re-entry up there anyway for another tighter stop loss, so you can maximize that risk to reward. So I think in terms of the entry, I don't really have any queries with that. Same with the targets as well. But I would watch out for that level. But the stop loss, yeah, I'm not too sure. But of course, I'm sure you got your reasons for that. And if so, of course, take the trade and let me talk you out of it. But I would try and get a tighter stop loss there if it was me taking that position. But on the flip side, I'm actually looking for buys at the retest here. So if I can see some nice rejection down the H4, I'll look for some entries to take it back up again. Depends what pairs I'm trading at the time. But if things look good and available to take the trade, I do like it. Okay, so we'll go through pound CHF as well. So pound CHF had a nice reaction to the downside. That's Aussie CHF. Yeah, I forgot to mention I'm in an Aussie CHF trade. We'll go through that afterwards. But in terms of pound CHF, we had a nice sell-off yesterday. I think a lot of pairs sold off pretty hard. We had the yen pairs, USD, and the CAD pairs all kind of sell off after the news. Was it even after the news? I don't think it was after the news. It kind of just happened because there was no kind of news when it happened. There was USD news after, so a bit weird. Not too sure why, but hey, the market moves where it moves. What's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, my man. Welcome. So yeah, let me know what you're looking to do with pound CHF. But in terms of pound CHF, we had a nice bounce off this low here. I think if you're looking for a short-term trade, I think a buy from here back to the high makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. That's a nice entry down the 4 hour. Probably could have maybe gotten a little bit early on the hourly, but I think the 4 hour looks pretty ripe as well in terms of stops below the low there. And I would say targets back at the high look pretty good there too. So I do think for pound CHF, there is a world where we do see a push back to where we came from. But I wouldn't be too optimistic if we're going to break through because we did see a lot of rejection there. And longer term, I'm still looking for a drop like this on pound CHF, and I'm still looking at it from that area. If it does break through, then I still think the drop will come at some point as we put the next lower high in. But in the meantime, this is where I'm looking for a big move to the downside. But then still coming back into the high here and showing a lot of rejection there, especially a nice shift of momentum on the 4 hour. That could take us back to where we came from at 1.134. So in the meantime, I think buys look good there for pound Swiss from 1.12 to 1.14, 1.134. And then we see what we have from after that. But longer term, I'm still pretty bearish. But for now, I think the buys look good. Tom, yes, I have entered Aussie CHF. I'm in the position. I'll go through that now. Anis, what's your take on NASDAQ? Okay, we'll take a look at NAS. NAS surprised me as well yesterday because I've been pretty bullish on NAS, but we sold off pretty heavily as well yesterday. The indices did take a bit of a dive there, so we'll go through that as well. In Keba, EuroCAD, okay, bought early this morning. We'll go for EuroCAD as well. So yeah, at the moment, I'm currently sitting in some shorts on Aussie CHF. This was the bonus pair I mentioned on the weekly analysis. I've been looking for some entries as we came into this level here at 0.587 roughly. I'm looking for us to just see a continuation of this humongous sell-off we had in July. I'm looking at this as somewhat of a correction of that. And as we approach the retest of this level, I'm looking for us to continue that swing back to the lower end of the range because effectively Aussie CHF has just been bouncing between this high and that low. Mine is kind of this fake out there and this move here. We're now back inside that range. Price respected the low very well not long ago. I'm looking for price to do the exact same thing back at the high and just possibly just continue that trend as well. Again, I will be trading stops, but I might just exit the trade as we get to the low because it has proven to be such a strong level of support. I don't want to look to try and trail stops through that, although it could break, of course, but it's a very firm level of support. And this very well could just wipe all my profits with a push back up against me. So I like them. I like the move to the downside for pound for Aussie CHF. I'll be trading along the way, but I may just call it a day at that low. But yeah, the idea is that we had a nice rejection yesterday, really strong shift momentum. Price has been trading this channel. It broke through, got the entry, stops just a little bit above the high with a bit of wiggle room, just in case we go back for another retest before the sell. But yeah, I am in Aussie CHF at the moment. Okay, we'll go through NASDAQ EuroCAD. John, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, true. Of course, external events will definitely affect the market. My view is just to trade the technical analysis, really, because I understand that outside events will affect the market 100%. But with the technicals, I've just got to trade the technicals at the end of the day because I'm taking manageable risk. Worst case that happens, I take a loss and move on to the next position. My risk is managed, and if I take the loss, I take the loss and move on to the next position. I've traded through many events where climates around the world have been very, very rocky. Russia, Ukraine, COVID. Those are the two big ones, but some other events as well, which has caused a lot of ruckus. And some events, has actually helped trades in my favor, and some, of course, stopped me out and I've walked away. But the way I see it is the market is going to be here, regardless. It's going to be affected. It's going to move up. It's going to move down. As long as you have an edge and a trading edge, a technical edge with that, with that. With that strategy, then when you get your opportunities, you take them. Some will fail, of course, which is why we manage our risk, and some will play out. And that's trading at the end of the day. If you don't want to trade because of the climate and because it's a bit more riskier and you're unsure about things, then of course, don't trade. You don't have to trade. And I understand your point fully, but with me, it doesn't really matter what happens as long as the technicals line up. I'll take the position and see it through. Holy One, Aussie CHF, I'm looking for buys, but your trade's valid as it needs a major drop first for me to enter. Should come down soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for that move. Hopefully I can start trading afterwards. Again, I don't have a finite target, but I'm hoping to get price back to the low here, then I'll exit. But I'll be trading along the way and see how price moves. The idea is that we've hit a massive level here in an area where I do think another lower high could form, just as we did over there. And hopefully we can see a push, at least back to this area here before maybe the buys kick back in and maybe chuck me out the trade. We'll see. If you can get the push to the low there, that'll be fantastic. But yeah, again, it's fit the plan, so I've got to take the trade. But I probably won't look to get into another one because there are a few other pairs which look good for entries. And because we have NFP on Friday, I've got two trades which aren't risk-free. So it's probably not the smartest thing to do to get into a third one and hold three trades for NFP, even though I do have a bit wider stop losses and I could probably stomach it. But I think I would just call it a day with two positions. Maybe if one gets to break even, then maybe I'll look to try and find a third. Because there are a few level markets I'm looking at. I like entity cap buys. Of course, I'm really concentrated in some of these USD pairs, Euro longs, New Zealand dollar longs, Aussie dollar longs as well. Not quite set up yet, but they could come into action pretty soon. Remember, GBP gets weaker at any attempt of war. Well, I am selling pound yen, so that should help out the position for pound yen. But we'll see. Again, I'm a very technical trader. I'm a very, very technical trader. If the technicals line up, I'm in the trade. That's basically my rules there. Fundamentals have helped me in the past. Not fundamentals, but world events have helped me in the past, and they've burned me in the past as well. But as long as my risk is managed, then I'm not going to sweat it. What's up, Harry? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Please review Aussie CAD. I will take a look at Aussie CAD for you. No problem. I'll go through NASDAQ first, however. Anis, you resume trading. I'm getting back up to speed. Not quite yet. I've had some extra time to this week, so I've managed to take a couple of positions. Yeah, when Elevating Traders launches, I'll probably be very busy around then. But when things have settled, then I can start picking up trading more actively again. But yeah, I've had a bit of time to find these positions. Lucky enough for me, let's hope they play out, because I've missed some really nice positions the past couple of months. So hopefully we can make up for them with some positions this month. Okay, so where is NAS? Okay, so look at NAS. So yeah, NAS was actually looking for us to push back to the high, and I still am. I still am looking for that big move back to the high. However, maybe price wants to go for a bigger pullback first. And in terms of finding a nice buy, it doesn't look that great anymore, I have to admit, because I was looking for us to hold this. We had some really nice rejection yesterday. And I was just expecting us just to continue higher, but we didn't. We came crashing back down and trading back below the low. So the buys don't look inviting anymore. I mean, I still expect us to get there at some point, but I just don't see a really nice swing opportunity for the buy. And in the meantime, it's probably best to be looking for some shorts, really, because we've just taken out the high, but it looks like it's a big fake out, and we just seen a lot of momentum yesterday as well. So I think we might see a nice correction and then price in the continuation lower. So with NAS 100, being pretty bullish on the pair on the market, but at least in the meantime, in the immediate future, I do think there's more downside to be had. The other indices as well did see a bit of a downside, not as much as NAS, but we are looking a little bit bearish there for US 30, and same thing for S&P as well. So I do think we're probably going to go for a bit of a drop there with these indices. The bigger move still may be to the upside, but for now, I do think we might correct and have another drop. What are you looking for, NASDAQ, Anis? I know you're intraday, but what's your call with with NAS? For me, it looks like we probably will bleed a little bit further. I'll take a look at that Euro CAD position in Keva. I have not forgotten. We'll go through gold as well and Aussie CAD as well. Holy One, up to running. Need to bank something first. Before you even consider getting to anything else, which for now I cannot see. But that's where the rules come into play and the risk management. Kudos to you, Holy One. And again, yeah, that's how you want to be thinking about things, not just trade. You need to be thinking about protecting that downside as well, because it's all great jumping into trades, but what happens if they don't play out? And then you're going to suffer, cumulatively a bigger loss than you want to. So yeah, I'm with you with that one as well. So I've got two positions now, pound yen and Aussie CHF. So until at least I can get one to break even, especially with NFP. And I know I'm swing trading as well, so I'm not going to be out of these positions by Friday, most likely. So yeah, I need to watch out for that. In terms of EuroCAD, you said you're in a long. So yeah, EuroCAD has come back to a nice level, I have to say. I do think price can see a bit of a bounce from here. Now, I'm not a big fan of EuroCAD's price action. To me, it looks like a big range. On the weekly chart, it looks like we're kind of ranging in the daily chart as well. Over there. So it's kind of like a range at the top of a range, which is just not what I want to be seeing. But in my book, I do think we're probably going to go for a bigger move like that at some point, because it looks to me that price is really struggling to break through the high there. And this to me looks like a bit of a fake out, an attempt to break out, but failed to do so. So now I do think the bigger move will likely be to the downside. So I do see this floor breaking eventually. But in the meantime, we might catch a bounce off that low. We've seen some nice rejection in the 4H there. You can see nice move. Could see that happen again. But I think as we approach some of these areas here, I'd watch out for something like that happening. So this is where I look to book profits and protect myself. So in the meantime, yes, I think EuroCAD's a nice buy where it is. but I think the bigger move is lower. So something that would entice me for a trade would be if we can get the breakout, then look for some shorts in that retest, because if that does play out, I do expect it to fall pretty far, and it could turn into a really, really big swing trade as well if we are gonna, see the continuation of that range lower. So I think there's a lot of meat to the trade to the downside, but we need to crack through the floor first, which at the moment in time, price is not doing so well. So we probably will push up again, but I think targets around here look good. Maybe push back to the high as well, but I would say at least kind of safeguarding your position around there would be a pretty smart move. You can always leave positions to run back to the high if you want to, but yeah, that's kind of really what I'm after if you're a CAD. But still a long way away from that. Okay, so we'll go through gold and Aussie CAD as well. If I have missed that pair, just let me know as well. Anis looking for some sells, but days we find a P price action sometimes comes choppy. Okay, so I'm watching and see if we can get something clean. That's fair enough, my man. Waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the A plus setup. And when the iron's hot, you can afford to strike. But yeah, we probably will start to slow down as we approach NFP. I will do a NFP stream actually. Need to mention that. I'll do an NFP stream covering NFP on Friday, so that'll be interesting, particularly because I'll probably still be in 2 positions by then as well. So double the trouble. But yeah, we probably will be, I think the markets will be gearing up for NFP as well. But of course, current climates could affect the market a lot too. So it could be a very, very volatile time coming up for the markets, which could be a blessing, could be a curse. Depends which way you're trading. Anyway, we'll go through Aussie CAD and I'll take a look at gold. So yeah, for Aussie CAD, I'm expecting upside. I'm looking for us to go and hit this big level here on the weekly chart around 0.94. So I do expect a little bit more upside from Aussie CAD for us to get there. There's 2 areas where I do think buys look good. The first area price is almost at, and the second area is down here. That's where buys look good to me. It's a very similar trade to NZD CAD, which I'll go through at some point. But Aussie CAD, NZD CAD, pretty much the same pair. Both looking for a big push to the upside back to 0.94. And to me, these both look like really nice areas. Just depends how we get there, how we react, what entry candles we get, and yeah, finding the entries off the back of that. But for now, kind of just hovering above it. So I kind of want to see Aussie CAD kind of bleed one more time to the downside. That would be very nice. And then I'll be expecting us to find support and push up. If not at 0.926, then at 0.92, pretty much on the dot. But for me, the bigger move is still looking like it's to the upside, just following that momentum, following that trend. And then maybe you can speak about some sales at a later date. But for now, still very bullish on Aussie CAD. So keep an eye on those areas roughly. Entries on the hourly probably still looking pretty good as well. We'll discuss gold. So I haven't actually been keeping up to date with gold. Okay. Last time we spoke about gold, the last time I had a look at gold, we were just about breaking this area here on stream yesterday. Because for me, I'm not really interested in gold until we at least come back down to 25.89. So there's nothing for me to do for gold for now. So I haven't really been looking at it, but besides from the streams. So yeah, we have had a big break. Didn't quite get to the high though. Didn't quite get to the high before we ran into a bit of trouble there. So gold's getting a bit more sketchy now. It's not as plain sailing as it was in these climates here. It was just, breakout, breakout, breakout. Now we're seeing some slightly bigger pullbacks, not quite getting to our highs. So maybe gold is going through somewhat of a bigger pullback, maybe a little bit more awkward to find a nice buying setup now. So with gold, I'll probably just stay alone for now. If we get back to this area here, I think that's a nice place for a buy. And possible continuation. If not, then I'm looking at the area I've been talking about for a while, which is this 25.89 area. That to me still looks pretty good for a buy, even the level below it. So yeah, if we were to get there, then I'll be interested. But for now, this looks like the best bet. Stop loss underneath the low, and then a continuation. It just looks like maybe gold is going through a bigger pullback. I think USD strength is probably not helping this one either. But again, still very, very bullish for gold. I do think it's a matter of time before we get right back to the high again. We've got 2,700 above us, big psychological level. Probably will hit that at some point as well in the near future. So yeah, very bullish for gold. I'll still keep an eye on 26.30, if not 25.89. But yeah, expecting some new highs for gold still, and just continuing the trend until I see some clear signs that, okay, the trend is struggling. Maybe we're going to reverse. But for now, I don't see that at all. Hey, appreciate that, Anis. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to leave a like, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams in the future. But I do appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. It does really help out. Okay. Okay, Elmi, I'll go through oil for you, no problem. Early one waiting for an Aussie New Zealand dollar pullback for a buy, but it shot off and did not come back. Yeah, one of them ones where it just pushes off and doesn't pull back for you. Annoying, especially if it goes hit your targets. But yeah, of course, yeah, we go through that all the time as traders, especially if you're looking for like break and retest opportunities, which is what I do a lot of. I'd probably say about half the time, maybe 60% of the time you get the retest. Other 40 to 50, price just maybe pulls back, but not enough for a retest, or it just flies. So yeah, just unfortunate, really. Tom, double trouble. Hopefully that will be a blessing. Yeah, double trouble, or I was trying to think of a nice word that rhymes with double, but I couldn't think of anything. Double blessing. We'll leave it to that. Euro yen. Okay, we'll take a look at that one as well. Aussie CAD was on my radar. Okay, actually have buy step in a couple of hours, but price hit to the high for me. I want to discount, although it's good buy level. Some trades I just will not take. Yeah, I think that comes from the experience as well in the markets, because I do that as well. Some trades do fit my criteria, but because of something, I may not take it. And yeah, it comes from just spending time with the market, and then you kind of see, okay, when this happens, trades don't tend to play out very well, and you can kind of tweak and mold your trading likewise. So yeah, that's a thing that develops over time, and that's why I think experience is such a huge factor in trading, because experience you can't teach. You can't teach that. You can give advice, of course, but in terms of real market experience and applying a strategy to the market, the only way to get that is trading. Unfortunately, not even back testing as well. Back testing will help, but live trading is very, very beneficial. Anyway, we'll go through oil. So oil was really bullish yesterday. I was not expecting that. I was expecting price just to come back into the low, and then we can probably start looking for some buys, because oil is at a really big level. If I expand to the daily chart, as we can see, massive level where we have reversed in the past. So I do think oil is in a place where we could see a lot of bullish momentum, but I just expect us to at least go and hit the low first before doing that. I mean, it came pretty close, but I was expecting a bit more. And then, yeah, really strong push. And I think that's what kind of gave CAD a bit of strength there yesterday, because CAD was a bit strong. Dollar CAD actually dropped, whereas other USD pairs, USD was the dominant currency or the stronger currency, but USD CAD actually did fall. And that's because oil was pretty strong as well. And I think if oil keeps the strength, then probably so does CAD, which could help out Holy One with shorts on USD CAD and buys and CAD CHF as well. But yeah, with CAD CHF now, this is the area where I said some sales would look good if you can reject that area. But yeah, price ran through that like it was nothing yesterday. So going forward now with oil, I mean, it is back at the area again for a short, but things look a lot different now, especially with that previous candle from yesterday. So I think sales look good still, but I wouldn't be banking on such a big move anymore. I think from an intraday level, you could probably catch a nice reaction, but I would be wary that we form a higher low and we want to push up a little bit higher. But if price starts showing some nice rejection at this area again, then I think entries will look good, stops above the high, that high there, and some downside looks good. I wouldn't say it's quite ready yet, still showing a lot of momentum there. If things can turn around this afternoon, some shorts could look good in the New York session. But yeah, based on this sell and heavy buy, that's not really something I want to see at the bottom of a trend, at least if I'm expecting a continuation. So I think it's still a nice area for a short, but I wouldn't be expecting the push into the swing low like I was last time anymore. I feel like this is more reasonable around 69.70. And then we'll see how price reacts from there. But it's still a nice place for a short. Let's see if we can get some rejection this afternoon. If not, maybe price just breaks through, and then we can reanalyze from there. Because maybe a strong break could be talking about some retest for some upside as well. Maybe we are going through a bit of a reversal. So this could look good if we get the break, but that's not reality yet. So we'll wait for that to happen. But still at a nice place for a sell at least. So I would keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's interesting because all being that strong, CAD will probably retain its strength as well. So yeah, I think USD CAD will probably just be waiting on USD to see what USD does. But yeah, really strong move from CAD, and of course that helped out NZD CAD to the downside, Pound CAD to the downside, Euro, Aussie, all those guys there as well. Was not expecting that from Aussie CAD. Okay, so we'll go take a look at Euro Yen, and we'll go take a look at Aussie New Zealand dollar as well, the one that got away, the one that ran away. So yeah, in terms of Euro Yen, another Yen pair. So we had a bit of a move to the upside this morning for the Yen pairs. I'm still very bearish on them, but I have to admit they're not moving that well because price did come back down and respect that low there. So yeah, I was looking for price to really break through that and continue to the downside. So the fact that it respected doesn't mean that, okay, we're going to push all the way to the moon out. But in terms of looking for a good sell again, it would be back at the same area. That's kind of where, if I was looking intraday anyway, that's kind of where I would be waiting for price to get to position myself short again, if I didn't trade the first one, of course. If not, then of course the break and retest of the low, but at that point, it's not looking likely just yet. It looks like we're rejecting it pretty well. So with Euro Yen, the bigger move for me is still short, as with all the Yen pairs on the higher time frames. I do think we're putting in a massive head and shoulder here. If I mark out the left, the head all the way up there, the head all the way up there, the right shoulder, which we're forming now. As long as we can respect this high and not break through it. So if Euro Yen does something like this, then yeah, probably I was in the wrong direction. But as long as we respect the high, which so far we did with that last kind of big candle up there, I'm looking for us to come back into support and potentially go and break that as well. So I do think that's likely the bigger move for Euro Yen. If we are going to break higher up, then from an intraday level, I would want to see something like that. And then the buys. And from a swing point of view, I want to see something like that. And then the buys. But yeah, I need some breaks first. But for now, still pretty bearish. So as long as we respect 160, 161, that's what I'm looking at for Euro Yen. Looking for a big move down. Let me know what your bias is with Euro Yen as well. Yeah, Aussie New Zealand dollar wants to come back to 1.09, then buy. Is it just flying? Let's have a look at Aussie New Zealand dollar. Oh, yeah, looking pretty bullish. You said you were looking to buy 1.09 to 1.09. Okay, yeah. Was that this morning? 0.9296. That's roughly in this area here. And yeah, this morning we kind of just missed it, to be fair. I suppose you were looking for this move to come a little bit deeper and then get the buy, but we just missed it before pushing up. So yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But of course, it will happen to everyone. Happen to everyone. But yeah, it's not nice, especially when it just flies in your direction. You're like, okay, if it just retraced a few more pips, I'll be in the trade. Anis, ICT blows, Robin's Cup account. Oh no. Damn. That's crazy. That is crazy. I can see the trading industry is gonna eat that up on social media big time. Damn. Feel sorry for him, to be honest. Okay, doing analysis last night, I saw the setup, needed the pullback, but it's gone anyway. Yeah, it happens, my friend. It happens. It happens to me with some of the USD pairs a couple of weeks ago with the buys, but luckily it does look like they're correcting themselves. As the USD seeing some downside, hoping this will just come a little bit further down. It was a nice reaction on the daily chart there, a really big bearish engulfing candle. So I'm hoping we can push a little bit further down, come back into 0.62, and then we can look for some entries to take this to the moon. Pound USD, it has pulled back, to be fair. Now it's just an area for an entry, but I'm not going to trade pound USD because I'm already selling pound yen. So yeah, it would make sense for me to sell pound yen and buy pound USD because I'm selling and buying pound at the same time. But at least exclusively looking at pound USD, it looks like a nice setup. And Aussie dollar as well, looking for some buys, and it looks like this one will retrace for me. And it looks like euro will retrace for me as well. So spoiled for opportunities on the USD pairs, I'm not going to lie. I mean, they're not here yet. They still need to sell off another 50, 40 pips. But the fact that we had some nice rejections yesterday and a big sell-off, I feel like we're probably likely going to see that move. So now I'm going to stay patient. But then again, I'm not sure if I'm going to trade it because I'm already in two positions. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. ICT means I can't trade. Lol, he's unable to trade for real. To be honest, this concept works, but I wonder if you can trade real time. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing because, of course, it's his concepts. Well, that's what we're led to believe it's his concepts. But surely you'll be able to trade your concepts, though. Really, like for me, that just doesn't make sense. Like if I was to come up with something and then I couldn't trade it, but then other people can trade it. I mean, I understand that because there's a lot more to trading than just a strategy. But I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Very weird, actually. Very weird. If you actually think about it, it's actually very weird how a trader creates a concept and then that hundreds of thousands of people use, but then the creator itself can't use their own strategy. That's just a bit weird, but like I said, there's more to trading than just a strategy. But you expect the author of it to be able to use it, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. Anyway, Aussie dollar, we'll take a look as well. Andreas gonna say it was intentional. I've heard that a few times as well. Not sure why you would do it intentionally. Take this to the moon, bro. You're just funny today. I guess I am. What day is today? Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday's my funny day. I think I've missed out a pair. If I have missed out a pair, someone's mentioned, just let me know. But I remember Aussie dollar, I'll take a look at. Okay, learn from Larry Williams. Okay. True, true. Of course, you're not going to beat the markets all the time. That's true. You're not going to expect to see, great results all the time. You will go through some drawdown periods, but then blowing account though, that's different from a drawdown period because everyone goes through drawdown. But if you can just manage risk, really, it shouldn't be blowing up an account. But of course, if you're going to try and achieve big results, then you're going to take big risk as well. So I can understand that as well because the Robin's Cup, you're not necessarily looking for consistency per se. You're just looking to try and achieve the most percentage. I see, I guess. So of course you're going to be a bit more risky there. So I don't know. I mean, I've never really looked into it, to be honest, the Robin's Cup. But if you're going to go for big gains, you're going to take big risk. I mean, that's just to be expected. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, in terms of Aussie dollar, I like Aussie dollar a lot. I just need this one to pull back for me. I got a feeling that we probably won't see much price action on the USD pairs until Friday now. I feel like we had a bit of a sell-off, which is great, but I feel like price is just going to be a little bit stagnant between now and Friday. Um, so maybe we're talking about some opportunities on Friday or next week, Monday, maybe. But in terms of the plan for me, it's really, really straightforward. Lovely move to the upside, pull back, and this is the last area. So as long as price stays above this low for Aussie dollar, I'm very bullish and I'm expecting that push to the upside. Targets I have at 0.705. Excuse me, that's what I'm looking for price to push into. And these are my three areas which I will consider the buys. First level, we've got 0.68 just above. Second level, we've got 0.67 just above. And third level, around 0.664. So I'll see what we can get there in terms of entries. And if things look good, I'll jump in and take this, as I said, to the moon. But more specifically, 0.705. It's just about whether we get the pullback or not. But like I said, I don't think we'll see much. I think NFP might give us that push. And then I can start looking for some entries Friday or Monday or whenever. But yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. And ends the USD, I'm looking at something very, very similar, but this one I've only got two levels of interest, which is this level here and the low here. And then Euro, I'm looking at this low here and this low here. So you can see with all these USD pairs, I'm looking for that swing. I'm looking for that swing to the upside. So that's where I'm going to commit. And doesn't mean I'll be right, of course. Maybe I've got the direction wrong. Maybe price wants to melt. In that case, if we start breaking structure, I will readjust my bias and probably shift to bearish. But for now, I'm looking to stick with this market structure here. As long as that remains, I will be bullish. And then, yeah, same with USD as well. I do think we're going to sell off, but maybe we've got a bit more upside in the tank left. But I like the USD pairs. I like them. Just hopefully a bit more downside. Trading ain't just about picking trading areas. This is a painful lesson that I learned. Very true. Very, very true. There's so much more to trading than that. Of course, so much more to trade than that. Trading is not just a strategy as well. It's not just a trading strategy as well. There's a lot more to that because strategies, in my eyes, are not too difficult to develop. Particularly if you've got a strategy around discretion. Because the real strategy is the trader itself, really, because you can take very, very simple methods in the market and turn them into really good systems. If you want to find a mechanical system, I think that's a lot more difficult, especially one that gives you nice gains over the long run. Because with mechanical systems, A plus B equals C, and it has to be very consistent. And market conditions will change. You'll go through choppy periods, really trending periods, periods where we do nothing, periods where we're corrective. It has to kind of provide gains for all those periods. So coming up with a mechanical strategy, yeah, is difficult, or harder at least. Discretion, you just need to know some techniques which put probability in your favor, and then based on probabilities and based on your understanding of market context, then you deploy that strategy when the time is right. For example, double tops, very simple thing. You probably learned that in your first day of technical analysis, but double tops can be very, very effective patterns when used correctly. And you're going to take every double top, and of course, you're probably not going to make money. But if you use it in effective areas under the right conditions with the right risk reward and risk management, then yeah, you can make great gains with double tops and other patterns as well. Of course, there'll be more to it than that, but you guys get my point. And yeah, once you gain more experience, you can use that to your advantage as well. Which is why when you see those adverts of like people say, I just started trading last month and I'm already making money to replace my job. It's like, yeah, no, you're not. And even if you did, I'm pretty sure you back in the job the following month because you probably would have lost it by then. Because you haven't learned anything yet in a month. And when you spend more time trading as well, you can probably spot a lot more scams as well. And then you just see how silly they are. Because I've seen that many times. Some really stupid scams. And unfortunately, people fall for them. Yeah, which is a shame. Because then that normally scares people away from trading in the first place. How's pound yen doing? Still not moving that particularly great. Still be dancing around my entry since I've entered. I mean, it was only Friday, but yeah, haven't really seen much development other than that. Just a lot of sideways. But again, the key thing with pound yen is that we're still below the high here, as I keep mentioning. As long as we stay below that, then I'm good. I may even close the trade early if we start seeing solid candle closes above the high there, because we probably are going to take the stop loss anyway. But as long as we stay below 193, I'm happy with the position. Not moving the best, but I do expect us to eventually bleed. That's the downside, and that goes for all the yen pairs as well. Some look better than others, but I'm really, really bearish. And the key thing is that my bias comes from high time frames as well. It's not intraday price action, which is why I'm bearish. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be so bearish. But it comes from daily, weekly, monthly time frame analysis, which is where I get my bias from. So I know that when I'm on the daily and the 4 hour time frame, just looking for shorts until I'm proven wrong. And all the kind of intraday movement, intraday price action doesn't really put me off, because I know, okay, if what I'm expecting is going to happen in the next few days, few weeks, a bullish day or a strong 4 hour candle doesn't change the direction for the past few weeks of the market. So, candlesticks moving up and down shouldn't affect me at all. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully I can get to break even at some point. And then I'll see if I can enter some more yen pairs. Because really the plan is just to really attack the yen pairs from now to the end of the year. If my bias is correct, of course. But if the yen pairs do what I expect them to do, then I'm just going to be looking for opportunities and just shorting them really. Being a bit aggressive as well, because I'm expecting a lot of momentum too. So I'm not expecting crazy pullbacks anymore. Of course, within reason, I'm just going to sell randomly. Blessing euro dollar yen. Okay, we'll have a look. See, Tom, 24 pips down on my UJ. Just hold on, mates. I'm going to call the Prime Minister of Japan to pump the yen. Just wait for the magic. Thank you, Tom. I was waiting for someone to get that call in play. To be fair, it looks like it's just come back to the same area, to be fair, where you shorted from yesterday. It looks like it's come back into the same area, really. So I think if price is going to be breaking above this, that's when the red flags are going to be waving. As long as price remains below this area or respecting that area, I think you're still good. Of course, it's not great because you're in a bit of drawdown, but you know, nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy. Bit of drawdown is always welcome. So yeah, I think as long as we can maintain that level, I do think the shorts will play out. It'll be a key thing because with USD JPY, of course, USD is also another big factor with this. We've got some USD news at 115, was it? Yeah, 115, which may help or hinder you. I'm not too sure. But in terms of the technicals, I'm very much in agreement with you. I do think dollar yen can move down. And in fact, anyone who didn't get short in the first attempt, this could be a nice time to get short if we do see some rejection there. But yeah, you get onto that phone call with the Bank of Japan. We need to see some downside here. In terms of Euro USD, I'm looking for some buys off these two levels here, 1.1 or 1.095. Those two levels look really, really good in terms of the buys. Hopefully I can take them back into the high there at 1.12. But more importantly, I want to take these guys a lot further than that. With Euro, I do think there's a lot of upside with this one longer term. As I've mentioned, I'm looking for us to get to this area here roughly, because you can see we've had a massive fake of this low here. Yeah, this is massive support. Price broke through, came back above. This is when we had the big sell of 2022. Then we recovered that, and now price has been holding onto that support pretty well. So I do think we're going to push up at least into this area here. I think we're going to probably create our next major lower high in this sequence. I think that's probably going to happen around there before maybe we go through another sell. So that's kind of what I'm looking at longer term for Euro, and the same thing for the DXY, just in the opposite direction. Which is why I'm very, very bearish on dollar long term. So I think Euro's got a lot of upside to fulfill into that 1.14 area, and then maybe we look at some reversals. But of course, that's way into the future. This is the monthly chart. That could take 3-4 months for us to get there, and then could take 3-4 months for us to develop, and then look for the short. So you don't have to worry about that too much. But the main takeaway is that we probably will continue this trend back to 1.14. So if I can find some nice buys in the meantime, I do think there's a lot of upside to be had into that area. So yeah, Euro USD, if it comes down a little bit further, that would be welcome, because right now it's trading in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't touch the longs at all. We might push up a little bit, but I do think we'll keep dropping. So once you come into this level here, I'll look for some buys. If it fails there, this will be my next point of call, and hopefully that can hold and see some upside. And yeah, I'll be trailing away, seeing how far I can take it. I'll probably give myself a bit more room on the stop loss. Learn from my previous mistake of probably being a little bit too aggressive, but I think I was just unlucky really with the interest rates, to be honest. So yeah. But those are my two areas where I'm looking to buy. Wow, 50 minute trade last session. Those the companies are going up and down beforehand. That's where you don't need any technical analysis. No support and resistance, no trend lines, no moving averages, no candlestick patterns or market structure. That's a different type of analysis there. Dev, what's up? Euro pound, give your opinion. Okay, I know it's a choppy chart, lol. Okay, we'll discuss. I think you already know that I'm not the biggest fan of Euro pound. But yeah, it's coming to a nice area. I have to give it give its flowers there, because it's coming to a nice area where a probable big reversal could be coming. Could be coming to us here from this low 0.83. You can see previously big reactions from this area. We're not too far from that same area, so buys look good in the near future. I wouldn't say we're quite there yet, or is it a good time to buy just yet? I kind of want to see price sell off a little bit further, give us some type of reversal price action, and then maybe find an entry there to take long. Looks like we're kind of moving in this descending format anyway. So it looks like we're kind of running out of juice to get that reversal. So we've had a really big sell-off. Originally, a couple of weeks ago or last week, I think, I was actually looking for the short on this area for a sell because we had a lovely break of the low, and I was looking for price to come back and retest that low and get the continuation. I was even looking at that area there, but we just didn't get that retest. Unfortunately, price just kept selling off. But now that we do, now that we are approaching this weekly level of support, it's a great place to expect price to turn around. So now I'll be looking for a push higher up. But again, I don't want to be the first person into the market here. I want to wait for price to build up, show me signs of reversals, and then get in. So maybe something like this will look good as we start putting some high lows in, something like that, or break a structure somewhere. So that might take some time, but I am looking for that reversal there for Euro pound. Let me know what you're looking at for Euro pound as well. But for me, as we approach 0.83, there's a lot of room for us to push into and see some upside. But yeah, first let's see how price gets there, see how we react, because maybe we break through, although I don't expect us to. It's such a big level in the market. I don't see us breaking through this one, at least not yet anyway. So I do think we can reverse from here. That's true. That's true as well. That's a good point, Tom. Insider trading is a bit more difficult to do in FX and Forex rather than stocks. Someone gets the drop that the CEO is about to resign or something. It's a bit more difficult to do that with Forex. I mean, you could still get information earlier about rates and stuff like that, but then you already have consensus and expected announcements. People already having an anticipation of what an event will do. Or, I mean, you could probably know the exact number. That would be something else. But yeah, it's just more difficult to do with FX than stocks. And of course, FX are very stable markets as well. There's so much money involved in FX. That's true. And it's funny, it was hyped by some famous influence. Of course, I mean they're pretty paid for that, to be honest. They're pretty paid to hype it. Because they're not necessarily market wizards. Okay, gold will take a look as well. Oh wow. Tech stocks have got husband Paul who made millions in trading tech stocks. Damn. Okay, that'll be an interesting article, Tom. Yeah, you can share that in the Discord. That will be helpful. Okay, so I'll go take a look at gold. So gold is pretty straightforward with gold. If I can find it, there it is. It's pretty straightforward with gold. Very, very bullish with this guy. Just looking for some pullbacks if it will be kind enough to do so. The two areas I'm looking at for the buy is this level and this level in terms of my preference and on the full hour and the levels I would like to buy from. But again, I'm not too sure to see that pullback enough to get there. I think realistically, this is probably the areas we're looking to catch that buy. It's moving a little bit awkward, I have to say. It looks like gold is going for a bigger retracement. Let me know if anyone is actually looking to buy gold or do anything with gold or sell gold even. Because of the conditions, it's just so bullish. I can't entertain the idea of selling it. In the meantime, this looks like the best buy for now. And then, yeah, I would expect us to push back into the high. We've got 2,700 just above us. That could be a psychological level which price could be attracted towards. But generally, I would only be looking for buys. And this level here, this low makes the most sense. Stops underneath, trying to catch that second low for a buy. But it's not moving as clean as it was previously. And these conditions are just breakout, I mean, not really a retest, really just continuing. Now it's going through a bit more prolonged retracement, failure to make the higher high there. So conditions are changing a little bit, but the direction is still very, very bullish to me. And if you're looking for an entry, I think this is the area which you want to wait for. Yeah, exactly. Things you're going to learn from live markets, which you just wouldn't learn anywhere else. Which is why live trading is so important in terms of at least experience. Of course, even if you're trading with a very small account, um, an account which you're not going to make anything reasonable from, at least trading with that will gain you some necessary experience of betting with live money and actually managing positions and taking losses and taking wins and just applying the same strategy time and time again. Because that's how you're going to get good at that strategy, because it's like anything, it's a skill. When you first try learning a language, you'll be absolutely horrendous at that language. But then if you keep practicing the same language over and over again, keep talking to people in the language, then eventually you're going to pick it up. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Of course, there'll be some things, some obstacles you're going to have to break through and stuff. And you probably trip yourself up and self-sabotage quite a lot. But, if you're determined, you'll come over those obstacles. And it's the same with trading. Gold way too high, no discount on site, not touching it. I agree. I'm looking for at least 25.89. I think in terms of the current climate and how price is moving, I think this is a pretty nice pullback given what gold is doing. Of course, looking at this on the daily or the weekly chart, you're like, yeah, gold is exponential at this moment in time. I need a massive pullback for gold. And I think that pullback will come at some point. But yeah, gold for me is still very much in that kind of bullish mode. So although we're looking for that deeper correction, it might be a while before we see that, unfortunately. I'm still keeping an eye on these two areas, but I'm not too sure we get there. At least for now anyway. But yeah, you're definitely right. And I actually low-key prefer silver actually over gold. So at least with silver, I've got structure to work with, and I know if I can get a solid break of the high here on the left at 32.2, then I know I'm in a really nice place for a buy, because this is essentially what I was looking for gold on the breaking me test of this level, which had a nice breaking me test there, and essentially looking for the same thing for silver. It just hasn't happened yet. And I also like this area here too, should it get there as well. But in terms of my analysis, gold and silver, very bullish on both of them. But in terms of finding a trade, it might be silver, which is the one I actually get a position on. And specifically, the breaking me test of 32 here, the 2.5 looks good. So hopefully we can get that trade. I think we're not too far away from it forming. But again, NFP will have a massive part to play, which will be interesting on Friday. And I will be doing a separate stream for that, guys. So do look out for that. It would just be probably like a little 30, 45-minute stream on Friday just to see what happens with NFP. Because I know it's always fun to see. But yeah, NFP didn't do me too well last time, unfortunately. I remember I was long on Aussie dollar. It did push in my direction initially, but it did push down and burnt me with this, just for price to rally and do exactly what I expected it to do. But I went to go and trade Euro USD at the time because I was long here, got taken out here, and I was looking for re-entries here for the buy, but I decided to jump into Euro, and it did push up because, of course, Euro USD, Aussie dollar, pretty much the same trade to a degree. So I caught the buy down here for Euro, but unfortunately, I was trailed out here because of the Fed interest rate, so I missed out on the rest of this move here. And obviously, in hindsight, looking back, Aussie dollar was the cleaner move. It didn't have as much pullbacks, and I probably could have just trailed that, and I'd probably still be in the trade right now, actually. And that's hindsight for you. That's hindsight for you. Don't know which trade is going to be the better trade because even though Euro USD, Aussie dollar, they'll both move up. Pound USD, they'll both move up, but pound might be a lot corrective and it might take you out of break even. Whereas if you bought euro, it'd just move, clean sailing in your favor. And yeah, you wouldn't know that until it's all said and done, really. You're like, oh, I should have chose pound, or I should have chose euro. But in my eyes, it kind of balances out because then sometimes you would pick the better pair, and sometimes you won't pick the better pair. And there's many times where I've picked the better pair and it's moved really nice in my favor. But if I picked a different one, I might have walked away for break even. So it gives with one hand, takes with the other. Just with the Aussie dollar, it took. Will plan for today. Pound USD buys 1.326. Stop loss 1.323. Take profit 1.234. 134. Don't know where the 2 came from there. Okay, so you're looking at, let me just mark it onto the chart, 1.32323. So that's roughly here for the stop. Entry 326, roughly there. And targets 3.4, big spike level, basically coming back into the high. So I like it. I like it, Will. I like it. I like it a lot. Stop loss in a nice area there as well. Effectively, you're saying that you're expecting price to hold the low. Hold the high, sorry, here. Retest the high, continue, and push back to the high. And I'm very much on board with that. I'm looking for that price action across the board for all of the majors, really. I'm looking for us to continue this trend and go higher. So I like it for pound. My only worry is because the technicals look good. If I was just purely looking at pound USD, I'll like it. The only thing I don't like is USD, is that push with USD that might happen. Because we just had a really nice breakout of this descending channel for a lot of momentum as well. So to me, it looks like dollar still got a bit more upside in the tank to take us back to 101.8. So that's my only thing I don't like, because if, of course, USD is going to do that, then it's going to be difficult for pound USD to push up. Yeah. But I could be wrong. Maybe dollar is forming a high to push back down here. If that's the case, then you should be well into the money there. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like with dollar. But then it's a difficult read anyway. We're kind of consolidating, so anything can happen. But just because of the way we've broken out there in the daily chart, it looks to me that we've probably still got a bit of USD strength in the tank. Otherwise, if it wasn't for that, I think everything lines up really, really well with pound. And of course, as long as you manage your risk, worst case scenario, you take a loss. It's not. It's as long as the loss is managed, you continue. There's nothing more to do, and maybe we should go for a bigger pullback for the buy, so even the risk reward improves. But yeah, I like it in terms of the technicals. It lines up really well. Let's hopefully we can hold that and continue higher. I'm looking for something in euro in the same area as well. I just want a bigger pullback with euro before I get the buy. But in terms of the targets, I think if we are going to see some upside, we're likely to get there anyway. Okay, and Keba, euro pound. A lot of people talking about euro pound today. What's going on? Coming to that zone we spoke about a few weeks back. My buy limit 0.82840. Okay, target 0.89. Oh wow, that is a big move. Target all at 0.89. Okay, we'll take a look at that one. Oil update as well. Okay, we'll discuss oil. Kadam, when would you use enter long on GU? I mean, at the moment, I probably wouldn't enter it at all because I'm currently short pound yen. So if I'm short pound yen and I'm buying pound USD, it doesn't quite line up in terms of the correlation there. So I probably wouldn't at all. But if I was focusing, if I wasn't in pound yen, I was just purely focusing on pound USD. I probably would already be in the trade, to be honest. Probably would be in the trade on the back of that candle closure, stops beneath the low. Maybe depends how dollar was looking. Maybe I would have stayed out and waited for euro because the risk reward looks a bit better, but it does fit the plan pretty well. And I probably would have already been in the trade, to be honest, with an entry there, stops below, targeting the high. Because I do expect us to go a lot further than the high, so I'll be looking to trail beyond that. But for me, that would be enough to take the trade. Tom, will Japan Minister pick the call and he's doing bad things, bro. Got stopped out quick on UJ. I don't know, did UJ break up higher? Damn, it did. That is a big move there. Wow, that was literally like, because we were just, maybe it's like the 5-minute chart. Yeah. Mate, what did you say in that phone call, Tom? What did you say in that phone call? Because last time we looked at UJ, we were down here, and then boom. What did you say in that phone call, mate? But yeah, it is looking really bullish, I have to say. It is looking really bullish. I mean, it hasn't broken through the level yet. I'll still wait for the candle closure to define that. But definitely a strong move there. Definitely a strong move. But I would say the possible re-entries are there as well if you can come back down. I've got a feeling we might be seeing some volatility in the market in the next coming days, so it should be an interesting watch. But I wouldn't say that the opportunity is over just yet. But yeah, we'll see how that kind of closes in the next 20 minutes, and then more importantly, see how the next 4 hour closes, 4 hour candle closes as well. But yeah, really strong push there. Really strong push. Is that USD strength or was that yen? Let me just go and have a little look. So Euro USD, not really. Okay, it's definitely yen. Big push there. Yeah, because DXY, I don't know. Yeah, DXY is a little bit strong there too. I think it's more yen. But damn, yeah, it's a pretty big move there. Pretty big move. But yeah, I don't think the idea is completely out of the bag. I think keep an eye on UJ. It might just mean maybe you're a bit too early and then price moves down. You can always find the re-entry. If the risk reward's positive, you make back the profits. But yeah, unfortunate with that. Holy One, UJ, strange with UJ up. Both my trades are running more blue despite USD getting strong. Damn. I think that's probably because of CAD for you. I think that's probably because of CAD. Is CAD really strong? Is all still pushing? It is. It is. I mean, dollar CAD hasn't moved too far. CAD CHF is pushing there. I don't know. It's a bit mixed, to be fair. It's a bit mixed. Like, there's no kind of definitive answer there. Anyway, we'll go through that oil update and we'll take a look at your euro pound idea. Kadam GJ freaking me out in drawdown since. Again, mate, if drawdown's freaking you out, then you're probably risking too much on the trade. You're probably risking too much. Yeah, you shouldn't be freaking out of drawdown. Of course, if it's a healthy freak out because it's in drawdown, okay. But if it's a big freak out, then you're risking too much. You might want to reduce your position size if that's the case. Okay, let me go through euro pound. So yeah, with euro pound, euro pound at a really nice level where I do think we can go for a bounce. You said you're looking at a buy from 0.8 0.2840. Okay, so you're still looking for a bit more downside before you get long, but more or less in that weekly zone. And you're looking for a push all the way to 0.89, which is a humongous move all the way up to here. I mean, it's reasonable because if the market is just going to keep consolidating, then yeah, we could see that move. But it could take us 5-6 months to see that, maybe even longer, maybe even a year to see such a move back to the high there as well. So I would watch out because of that. Because yeah, it's going to take a while for us to get back to the high. I mean, not that it won't happen. I think if the range is going to continue, there's a pretty high chance we do get back to 0.89. But are you willing to hold that trade for a year? Possibly. I'm not saying it will take a year. It could take half the time. But there's an argument that it could probably take a year or 6 months or 5 months for that to happen. So yeah, I think the targets is definitely rewarding if it plays out. But I'd probably look at trading or taking some partials or adding to the trade or something along the way because it's a pretty big outlook in the market. All right, Will, take care, my man. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like and sub. Appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying the channel, by the way, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It does, of course, really help out with the channel. I really do appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed and chatting with me and joining in. I really do appreciate it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, risk on 1%, but the like of yen in Japan, PM not supporting the strength of yen, not sure. Okay, so it's a healthy kind of worry. Yeah, I mean, of course, any trade is not a given. Any trade is not a given, Kadam. Trades will lose. But for me, it's about maintaining the high of this daily level here. As long as price is below that, for me, the trade is still at play. If price starts breaking through that, I may look to close early, depending how the daily is looking. Of course, my stop loss is there for a reason. But for me, as long as price stays below that, we're in play. If we start breaking above that, then that's when the alarm bells start to ring. We may be looking to come up right back to the high and test it again before the sell. So that could happen. I've got a feeling we're probably waiting for NFP to really get things rolling. But yeah, it's not been moving great. It's not been moving great. The fact that we respect the low isn't particularly great there. I was hoping we could break through that, but we did respect it. So let's hope we can respect the high in turn. But yeah, the main thing my focus is on is this level here. If that goes, then yeah, probably we might see more strength. I'll take a look at the oil position you marked out in Keba. Alarm's gone for Swiss yen buys, not ready yet. I'm already in 2 trades, so we'll be like 1%. Some people on the streets lie, some people to get really perfect entries also. No problem, Kadam. Happy to help, my man. Jack, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Okay, thoughts on USD CAD. Okay, let me go through oil quickly, then I'll go through USD CAD. So in terms of oil, as I said earlier, it's that nice area where we could see some downside. Where is oil gone? There it is. Blind as a bat. So yeah, oil's at a nice place where we could see some downside. In fact, this is where we rejected previously, but oil's on something different right now. We're seeing really, really strong momentum. So that's a little bit worrying for the sellers that have to admit. I think it's still a nice place for a sell, but I need to see some rejection like we did over here. As of yet, that's not quite in play. So I need to see price start turning around, showing me some nice wicks, some nice strong closures to the downside. And then we can discuss some shorts back to where we came from. If not, then maybe price is just going to break through. And then we can start discussing some longs above it. Because maybe we are double bottoming out and looking to reverse. Because let's not forget, price is coming from a pretty big level on the higher time frames. If I go to the weekly chart, this is a pretty big level. Last time we were here, massive move to the upside. Who's to say we can't do something of that nature again? So oil has room to the upside should it want to go through that reversal, but I would say keep an eye on that level there, because the shorts still look good if we can see that rejection. Just at the moment, it doesn't look like we're seeing it. So if the market maintains the momentum and keeps breaking through, then watch out for that retest there. If not, the sells look good. But yeah, oil is not playing about at all right now. It's looking pretty strong. So we'll see if that breakout does happen. But for now, still going to see if we can hold onto that level. Okay, no problem. Happy to help. We'll take a look at dollar CAD next. FEC, the strength on oil cash regain strength. Yes, very true. Conflict in the Middle East will continue to impact the oil high. That's very true as well. That's very true, actually. That should be really good for your CAD trade then, Holy One. Yeah, exactly. Make sure it's healthy, not massive risk. Exactly. Because if you're risking a healthy amount of trade, if you're risking a reasonable amount of capital per trade, not that you're in danger of losing your account or losing a lot of money every time you take a trade. If you're risking a healthy amount, then of course you're going to have that natural kind of uncomfortableness in drawdown, of course, but it's not down to you being on your last penny. It's just because you're on drawdown. If it's that, okay, that's just a natural part of trading which you overcome or get used to. But if it's a different type that, okay, my account is about to get a margin call, then that's something else completely. So yeah, in terms of dollar CAD, now dollar CAD I'm very bearish on. I do think there's a lot of downside for dollar CAD. Longer term, I'm looking at this wider range in the market. I do think we're just going to end up back at this low in the near future. We had a really nice retest of this area here not long ago, and now I'm just looking for continuations in that sort of trend, lower lows, lower highs. From a daily standpoint, as long as we don't see price take out this high, as long as price doesn't take out 1.364, 365, I'm looking for us just to continue the trend back down to the low. Of course, if we suddenly do something like this and break the high, that changed my bias altogether. At that point, I'm probably looking at something like this to happen. But as long as we don't take out the high there, I'm bearish. So yeah, only looking at downside, no interest in the buys whatsoever. At the moment, we had a really nice rejection off that high, off that low there. Price came in, really nice rejection yesterday. It looks to be that CAD strength is really helping out. I mean, oil strength is really helping out CAD. So if that maintains, because dollar has been quite strong. Dollar has been pretty strong. It's still relatively strong right now as well. So dollar has been moving up, but dollar CAD has actually been moving down. So that's pretty big, because it is pretty out of sync of the DXY right now. So for dollar CAD to move down like that, that means CAD has to be hitting pretty strong. So maybe it's not even dollar we're relying on here. It's more CAD strength that we're relying for us to get back to the low. Of course, longer term, I think USD will have to be weak for us to get down here. But in the meantime, CAD strength, it looks like it's doing the job. In terms of finding entries with dollar CAD, again, best case scenario. I mean, not best case scenario, completely wrong phrase there. In terms of entering the market, you kind of already want to be in the trade, unless we were to go through a retracement of some sort. Entries up there look good. I mean, potentially could push up there again, so that could be a nice place to find more entries. Maybe something like this in the break me test of that low could provide something there, but clutching straws a little bit there, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, in terms of dollar CAD, I think we'll probably come into the low here. And if USD sees some weakness, I think that would speed everything up. But yeah, you kind of want to already be on the trade. If not, maybe the party is in full flow. Maybe the train's left the station. So I'm not really seeing opportunities in terms of getting into the position, but if you're in the trade, great. And I think we can push back to 1.343 maybe by the end of the week. Maybe by the end of the week. And of course, we just had a look at the USD there. So even despite the dollar strength, we're still selling off, which is good. Because if USD turns around, then that really will help out your trade. Because despite the USD strength, USD CAD is still falling. So if USD does turn around and see some weakness, then I expect dollar CAD to really, really sell off. But yeah, oil is pumping hard. CAD's loving life. So yeah, dollar CAD is moving pretty well for the given circumstance. I mean, it's not falling, but it's moving pretty well compared to other USD pairs. Okay. Seems you yeah, again, it's not moving well because USD is strong, as we mentioned. It's not moving well, it's not falling well, but if you compare it to Euro USD, for example, this one actually fell. This one actually fell. Pound USD fell. NZ USD fell. Aussie dollar fell to the downside. Even gold saw a bit of downside as well. So the fact that USD CAD is actually falling is pretty big. Really, USD CAD should be moving up if it wasn't for CAD doing craziness. USD CAD should be moving up. So yeah, I know it's a little bit choppy now, but I would expect us to commit. So see the trade out. I think everything looks good. Of course, we could still reverse. Nothing's 100%, but I would expect us to move lower as long as you're managing the trade well. Just see it through. Damn, Castro, like Mr. Universe. Yep, it is at the moment. It is not messing around, CAD. Not messing around. Aussie CAD. Ooh, that means Aussie's pretty strong then. But yeah, pound CAD's coming pretty down. Euro CAD's coming down. CAD CHF, that's pushed up a lot. That was really corrective, and now boom, strong push there. And CAD yen's looking pretty strong there as well. I think that's yen's got a big part to play with there as well. But yeah, CAD is not messing around. Mika, the psychological bit of trading is very crazy. True. Very, very true. Now to head to NatWest to deposit another £20 to try and flip. Yeah, I suppose everyone's been there. I'll start somewhere. When in profit, you feel like you can move mountains. When in profit, you feel like you can move mountains, but when in drawdown, feels like arraigned on cat. You feel like arraigned on cat. Yeah. I mean, I hear that very much, and I think that's where the consistency comes in, and that's where having a disciplined plan keeps you grounded. Because, as you said, when you call the market well and you're in profit, it's like, I just made money out of nothing. Nothing can stop me. And then when you lose money, like, I'm an idiot. I should have bought when I sell. Should have sold when I bought. And trading is literally managing all of that together, because everyone is trading a strategy, and I'm pretty sure everyone is well aware that they have a strategy which is not perfect, which will have losses, which will have drawdowns, which will have losses and break evens and whatnot. But the expected outcome in the long term is percentage growth, is profit. I think everyone's well aware of that. As a retail trader, and that's what we're after. But we'll know that we will take losses along the way. It's just about not letting those drawdowns and those losses make you deviate from your plan and go do something stupid and something silly. And that's where the kind of the mental clarity and the level-headedness comes in. Because if you can stay just as confident during your drawdowns as with your winning times, then you're setting yourself up for a really, really, really good performance in the markets. If you can just be just as confident with your losses as with your wins, then you're in a really nice place. But you're right there. It's a psychological battle, 100%. Pound yen going up. Yeah, it does look like the yen pairs are strong. I mean, it looks to be that we'll probably come back to retest the high there again at 193. So that's my main point of call, my main focus. If we start breaking through that, I may exit early. I'll probably wait for a daily candle closure to close above, though. If the 4 hour closes above, I won't read too much into that because, we did that kind of, we could very much still sell off there. So if it's a strong daily candle closure, I may exit early. But my expectation is still that price is likely to reverse. If it starts breaking through, then I was probably in the wrong direction to start with. But yeah, euro, pound yen, it isn't moving well at all. I mean, it's still been at my entry price since I've pretty much got in. Went into profit, drawdown, profit, drawdown. Maybe tomorrow back to profit. But yeah, other yen pairs aren't moving well either. CAD yen, I was looking for price to hold this level and sell off. It looks like we're breaking above that now as well. Euro yen, I was looking for us to hold that level and sell off, which we did. It's just that we respected the low, so it looks like we're coming back to where we came from. New Zealand yen, looking for price to respect the high. It's done that, but potentially might be coming back there again as well. Aussie yen's back at that high, so that's a very pivotal point for Aussie. Dollar yen, I was looking for price to hold this level and sell off. We saw a slight reaction. Looks like price is trying to break through now, but we'll see how that closes. And Swiss yen, again, looking for price to hold that double top. Hasn't broken through it yet, but it's trying to do so. So a lot of these yen pairs are at some pivotal places right now on the 4 hour / daily, which if we start seeing some big breakouts, yeah, it's not the best sign for the shorts for these yen pairs. If Aussie starts breaking through this, I mean, it could be a fake out, but I don't want to see price start taking out the highs. But then again, if it comes back in, I'll still look for entries. I'll still look for entries. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. As I said on Friday, I will be live again on for NFP after my Friday stream. So do look out for that. We'll be covering NFP this week. Of course, we'll be live again tomorrow as well, Thursday, as always, every weekday. So if you guys are available, feel free to tune in, say hi, ask questions, chat with me. You are very welcome. If you have enjoyed the stream today, guys, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, make sure you go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you go check out Elevating Trade's Discord channel, completely free to join, is at the top of the chat. You can't miss it. So guys, make sure you go check that out if you haven't done so already, and there will be discount opportunities there when it does come to launch. So check it out. But guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, I'll be live again tomorrow. If I do have any updates for my trades, I'll put it in Telegram, which will be linked in the description. So check that out as well. But guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.